Black and Indeed, we are back. Still season 6, episode 4 now. We have a nice little episode for y'all. You know, it's a nice little Valentine's Day special, even though it's coming out a week after Valentine's Day, which I'll just ignore that. It's cool. As always, my name is Isaiah.
I'm Tykiera.
And this is Black and Indeed. So today we figured we'd do like a little Valentine's Day special, like we said. And we kind of wanted to focus on, you know, for the single people, you know, navigating Valentine's Day as a single person. Then for the people in relationships, you know, navigating Valentine's Day in a relationship, and kind of like the young perspective on, you know, kind of how we build relationships. Because we know we got some of y'all are old, you know, y'all ain't been in a young relationship for like 60, 70 years. So, you know, y'all don't really know how things are now. So we kind of just want to talk about that a little bit. So I figure, you know, we kind of just jump started, I guess, by kind of diving into, you know, that single life, because I don't know what that's like anymore. So.
Okay. Let's see. Single life. Firstly, for me, I like being single. It gives me time to focus on myself, find out things that I love, things about myself that I didn't necessarily know before. And then, yeah, when it comes to Valentine's Day, when you see the couples, you get a little ick, kind of hating, but you get over it, at least for me. Because once you start to love yourself, none of that really bothers you like that no more.
I don't know if you believe that.
But me personally, I do.
I don't think you believe that.
I do. At first I didn't, but now I do. But no, I'm my own Valentine. I was my own Valentine. Bought my own chocolate, rose. My aunt sent me a goodie basket, so I was straight. Proud to be single. Now, I'm proud to be single now.
Let me ask you. So if you're proud to be single, why is it like a little ick seeing people in relationships on Valentine's Day?
Because it's like, there's always going to be that, like, that could be me. I wish that was me. But then you're like, but it isn't, so it is what it is. That's where that ick comes from. But some people do be doing too much. I'm not going to lie. Some people be doing too much, posting too much. Like, yes, we get it. You're in a relationship. You're happy. Boom. I don't want to see the insides. You can keep a lot of stuff to yourself. Cute showing what you did, what y'all did, blah, 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 but don't do too much. Don't do too much. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. You know, for me, I've been single on Valentine's Day before, so I know that experience. You know, to me, it's kind of depressing. I'm not gonna lie to you, because you know, when I was single, I see, you know, people and their little relationships and stuff posting, their significant others on Valentine's Day. I can be a hater sometimes. You know, I'd be wishing, you know, they just break up, maybe, you know. Maybe just experience a little bit of unhappiness. Hey, look, okay? Everybody got a little hater in them, okay?
But to wish and break up upon someone else, especially when you see that happen, even, what if they were your friends? Your friends is in relationships, they posting on Valentine's Day, you would wish they would break up?
Hey, listen, me and my homeboy would both be happy. We're both gonna be single and happy.
Y'all heard it first. Don't be booed up around him.
But no, I'm playing. You know, I'd be happy for people, because that's definitely something to be, you know, happy about. But I do have my little secret hater rate on the inside sometimes, you know, kind of like you said, like that wishing it was you, that sort of thing, especially because we live in like the day and age like social media. So it's like everything is posted, you know, you've seen everybody. You're on Snapchat, Instagram, you go on Twitter, even Facebook for the old people. Everybody's posting, you know, this.
Stop throwing old around, I still got Facebook. Look. Sir.
Hey, look. Actually, you know what, Imor's, he got Facebook, but he's old too. I'm sorry. He said he was 31 years old. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Morge. You know I love you though. You know I love you.
That's crazy.
But no, that's one of those things. But one thing I will say, the best thing about being single on Valentine's Day is you get to save your money. Okay? You don't got to spend a whole bunch of money on your significant other, and that's always good because your pocketbook's not gonna be hurting like mine were. But at the same time, whenever you are in a relationship, or you do have a Valentine, at least, you don't always have to be in a relationship to have a Valentine, but you know, if you do at least have one, you know, it's always good to at least, you know, some people they focus more on like the effort of a gift. You know, they say, you know, I got the effort, and then other people they kind of focus on like the monetary value of the gift. And I think, you know, regardless, at least you know that whenever you're with someone on Valentine's Day, like, it's worth it. You know that you're not just spending your money in vain. I mean, I know some of y'all are, some of y'all not in happy relationships, but you know, that's okay. It is what it is. But, you know, most people at least, they realize that like at least their gifts are worth it, you know. And so I think that's pretty special. You know, we were talking about before we started filming, you know, the crew was asking me, you know, what I did for Valentine's Day. And, you know, what I did, you know, got my mom some little flowers, nice little letter, nice little dinner at a fancy little restaurant. You know, I had to go above and beyond. Shout out to Chef Calvin. Got me hooked up over there at Roar's. Y'all go eat at Roar's. And I got her, some tickets to go see her favorite music group live in concert next month. So I had to do a little something, went a little above and beyond. But I mean, that's kind of just me, I guess. I feel like it's always good to show that you put in effort, but also to show you really care, you listen to certain things. With my one, for example, she had only talked about her favorite music group 2 times. It only took me the first time to realize, that's your favorite group. And so, kind of like that thought behind it, I'm always
little
thinking.
Things you remember
exactly, and so that's kind of what's special. And another one's like that. I saw some people, got them a little flower, got them a little card, and that's always cool too. You don't have to go drop a bag on everybody for Valentine's Day. And I think that's also something to really look. Or understand, I guess, is that sometimes we don't always got it, and that's why I feel like the real love shows whenever you don't got it, but the person that you're with, they still value and appreciate, the things that you still got them that day, even if it's just a letter or something that didn't even cost any money at all.
Right.
I think that's special too.
But also, dating nowadays, especially for Valentine's Day, trying to find someone to actually date, in our culture right now, it's hookup culture, just talking culture, doing things in a relationship without the relationship title.
Situationships.
I hate situationships, the worst. But it's hard to actually find someone to truly be your Valentine. That's why I also wasn't upset that I didn't necessarily have a Valentine, because I wasn't worried about, well, my situationship didn't do this for me. But technically he doesn't have to because it's not my boyfriend, but we act like we are. There's too many criteria or unknown factors that just play into things. So I was happy. And maybe it's because I was still on my high because I just turned 21, February 12th, Sunday.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, thank you. Y'all can wish me belated in the comments. Yeah, but I don't know, it was, and then also a lot of my friends were also single, so we do Galentines, as people call it. So yeah, Valentine's isn't also always necessarily a depressing thing, as you said back when you were single. So,
yeah, I think it's also important to kind of touch on, even people in relationships, even they kind of develop sometimes a sense of jealousy, especially nowadays, and like we said, the day of social media, the digital age, basically. You have people who maybe all they got was a flower and some cards, but then they go on Instagram and they go see that, somebody else, some other man got their woman, a nice little trip to Turks and Caicos, and a new Bugatti and all that, and you well, I mean, he got her that, so why can't you get me that?
Right.
So I think the social media definitely, exacerbates some things, but I also think that, at the end of the day, Valentine's Day, it's a special day, and I feel personally, it's supposed to be, both ways. I know that some women, or some people in general really, think that, Valentine's Day, it's a day for, the man to spoil the woman and stuff like that. I'm kind of on the other side of things. I think that it's a day of love in general. So I think that it's good to spoil each other, and even if you can't spoil each other, financially, you can spoil each other with love, raw emotion, things like that. So I think that's important too. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm in the minority with that thought process.
No, I agree. Maybe because I'm someone who's not a materialistic person. So I'm just look, as long as you put in effort, show that you care, show that you listen to the little things, that's all that matters to me. So, I don't know, I agree. And if I'm part of the minority shit, it's another group I'm minority in, so it doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
For sure. And I feel like that was important to touch on. So for those of y'all that didn't have a Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day from Blacker Than D. For those of y'all that did have a Valentine's Day, y'all already know, y'all already was told happy Valentine's Day, so I don't gotta worry about that. But from us to y'all, we definitely want to say happy Valentine's Day, even though this is gonna be released literally a week after Valentine's Day.
You'll still feel the love, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's still there.
And so, another thing that we kind of want to talk about transitioning from Valentine's Day, since this is kind of an episode that focuses on, romance, especially in today's world, we wanted to kind of talk about the young perspective, on romance and on love. I know a lot of y'all, I'm gonna keep on going back. I know some of y'all are old, okay? Some of y'all are just old. So y'all, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all walked Earth with Jesus. Some of y'all did, okay?
That's disrespectful.
Is it though?
Walked Earth with Jesus?
Some of them old. Some of them you blow on them, powder comes off. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, y'all. My granny be watching this. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, granny. But look, y'all are all still loved though, but I'm gonna always cap on you. I'm gonna start capping on the young people too, so it's all right. But we have like sort of like a different understanding of what love is, I guess, to a certain extent from the older generation. You know, I think one thing that kind of really stands out, especially, you know, whenever I tell my mom about certain things, you know, one thing that she tells me is, you know, you're only 19 years old, you know, you don't know what love is. And so that's always kind of stood out to me because I feel like a lot of the older generation, they kind of established understanding that love comes, you know, with age. Now, the more that the more that you age, the more mature you get, and the more you understand life, the more you understand like the simple things in life, things like love. And I think that to an extent that is true. But I also think that even though we're young, you know, love is something that you're taught from an early age for most people. You know, you experience love around your family, you experience love with your friends, and I feel like that can transition into love in a relationship because, like, even though you're not old or whatever, you know what love is. You know that you have like a sort of like love for that person and to that person. And I think that sometimes the older generation kind of, you know, ignores that. They call us naive. You know, like, oh, y'all are so naive. You know, y'all gonna break up in like 2 weeks.
But also,
you know,
that's something that they're very hypocritical about because a lot of couples that are in the older generation got together when they were high school sweethearts or 18, 19. So it's like, if we're having these feelings and you have those feelings at the same time, then how are you taking a position to like judge me or say I don't know what I'm feeling? A feeling is a feeling. Sometimes you don't know the feeling, but you know it's more than a like, more than a crush, something that you may have, for the new people, that you've like never felt before. So yeah, you can love at 18, 19, 20, 21, and of course it's gonna be a different type of feeling, as I said, because you've never experienced it before, but it's definitely possible. So I do agree, the older generation, y'all need to get rid of that, because we can feel it. We can feel it.
And it cracks me up because the same, you know, older generation that's telling us, you know, y'all don't know what love is, the same people that have been divorced like 3 times. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what love is? Like, I don't know. I'm not going to judge y'all today because it's not a judgmental day. But, you know, I think that's important to kind of look at too. And I think one thing that's important to realize is that, you know, love can start early. And I think that as you grow with that person, as you know, continue to like live life with that person, I feel like the love only grows more and more and more.
Exactly.
You know, and you have like different stages of love and different types of love. And I think that that's something that, you know, the younger generation kind of needs to focus on too, because whenever they were our age, they probably, you know, felt the same thing, but then they feel like, oh, I got older, I got wiser. Y'all don't know what love is because I didn't know what love is. And it's like, just because you didn't know what love was whenever you were young doesn't mean that, you know, we don't. It doesn't mean that we don't understand, you know, our own feelings.
And also now the times are so different. So when you guys, like when we love, because the way our generation is set up, no one necessarily expresses that they love each other or says that they love each other. So then when someone actually says that, I know it's true because there gotta be, because no one does it anymore. Now back in the day, yeah, I love him, he loves me, constantly said, right? So let's just put that out there. The times are different, so that means situations are different, feelings are still the same, but you know, keep that in mind.
And I feel like it's important to acknowledge that love goes like beyond just, you know, in a relationship or being with like your people, whatever. Like, I feel like there's a heavy stigma on men, for example, to like not feel like they can express, you know, like their love for their partners or feel like they're friends. And it's not weird to, you know, say that like you love, you know, your homeboy or whatever. You know, like that's not weird. Like you don't have to say it in a way that, you know, could like express affection and love, and that's sort of way like, oh, I want to be in a relationship with you. But it's like, if y'all are friends, like that's cool to do. Like it's not weird, you know. And it took me a while to really understand that too. That love can transcend relationships.
Friendly love, familial love, romantic love. There's different variations of love, and we all should be open about it and accepting. There's nothing wrong with. I love my homegirls. We tell each other we love each other all the time. Not romantically, but it's like you're more than yeah, you're a friend, but it's like I like you so much as a friend. Like you're more than that. So I don't know, but yeah, it's okay to say I love you to a friend. I know it's especially okay like between girls, like that's not a problem. But between guys, you guys have got to get rid of that stigma. I hate it, especially nowadays when everyone be saying no homo, whatever, after every single thing. It is okay to express your feelings. All feelings are not romantic.
that's the perfect way to put it right there too. You know, not all feelings are romantic. You know, there's no problem with saying like I love you, bro, or like, you know, kind of like expressing that. And like I said, it really took me a while to understand that, you know, because that's something that, like with boys, you know, turning into men, we're always taught like you have to have like that sort of like macho man persona. You have to, you know, keep that masculinity, and it can get to the point where that masculinity can kind of like overpower you, like overshadow you. You're too worried about not coming off as, you know, something else, whereas you just really just want to, you know, express that to your people. And I feel like even that transitions into like just caring for people. You know, one thing I spoke on this in the Black Mental Health Matter episode last semester, y'all check that out. I spoke on, you know, how with a lot of my friends that I'm like really, really good with, now I'll check and I'll ask them like, you know, how you doing mentally, you know, how you doing, you know, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, I love you, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's normal. Like, that doesn't mean that you're professing feelings to them. It doesn't mean that you're just checking in on them and you're just making sure that they know that you care for them.
And it also doesn't mean that you're soft, because that's another thing. I'm not a man, obviously, but I have a little brother, and I tell him this all the time. You may be the only man in the house, but you do not always have to act so hard. It is okay to loosen up a bit. Take a break. Expressing your feelings does not equate to being soft. I actually believe, because me personally, I don't like expressing my feelings, the strong people know how to express their feelings, because it's very hard to do that. So yeah, let's also get rid of that stigma. And it doesn't mean you're sensitive either. That's another thing. So
and I think that goes into relationships too. You know, there's a lot of dudes in relationships with women who feel like they gotta be hard 24/7, like they can't be a little softy. And like me, I'd be a little soft. You know, like I'm a very like loving, affectionate person.
It just shows you're comfortable with the person.
Exactly. You know, and I feel like it all comes down to, you know, being vulnerable. I think that a lot of people struggle with vulnerability. You know, some people, you know, especially some men, you know, they've expressed vulnerability with women in the past, and then, you know, as soon as they break up with that woman, she all of a sudden's like putting all the business on the street. Oh, well, he was so soft. He was doing this and that and that. And, you know, it's one of those things where for some men it can really be difficult because they have that experience and they kind of see that that's just how things are sometimes.
Right.
But at the same time, like, if you with, you know, a really good woman, like, you know that you can express, you know, your feelings and your affection without having to feel like you're just being soft, like you're not a man anymore. It's like, I feel like it really all comes down to just being comfortable in your own sexuality. I think that's what it really comes down to.
That's the
a lot of men have a difficult time being comfortable in their sexuality, and they feel like they're constantly being judged and stuff like that. It's like, that's not the case. Like, if you want to be that sort of softy, which women like, and women like that. Like, most women don't want no man that's hard 24/7.
No, I don't, because if you're hard-headed, we're gonna have issues.
Exactly. You know, so it's like, there's no problem with being that sort of softy sometimes, but obviously, like, you still gotta keep, you know, like a little bit hardness to it. Like, you don't want it to be like completely soft, because then that can be, you know, a little iffy. But I mean, like, in general, there's nothing wrong with it.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And me personally, tell me your feelings, because sometimes I don't be catching things. That's another issue. And it ties in with communication. Expressing your feelings helps with communication, which helps with relationships, romantic or otherwise. So let's all just, I'm not saying now openly and always express, because sometimes you can keep some stuff in, because you don't want to overload the other person. But don't be afraid to, you know, say a little something here and there, and let the other person in the relationship know how you're feeling.
And not even that, like, it's like you can't even just stop at communication. You know, one thing that's important is not only communication but comprehension. You know, just because you went and told your significant other and how you feel, they might not have comprehended what you said. You know, and that's on them. So whenever you're the receiver of those sort of words, you have to make sure that you are understanding what they're saying, because communication is key. And I feel like a lot of people, you know, and we're young, so I will say that I am young and I can't be naive on this, but I feel like, you know, communication is a very big key to establishing a very strong relationship with somebody else, you know, whether that's a friend or just, you know, being in a relationship itself. Communication and comprehension is so key, because if you're just not communicating with your person, it's like problems are gonna arise, because you feel like you have to keep everything to yourself. And in a relationship, you shouldn't have to feel like you should have to keep everything to yourself. You know, you're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations. You know, you're gonna have conversations where you're kind of struggling with understanding or thinking, you know, should I express this feeling? Should I, you know, say this? I feel like you just gotta just go for it sometimes. You know, whatever happens, happens, but at least it's out there. You know, unless it's like something crazy, but like, it's in like general, communication and comprehension is key.
And then the more you do that, I believe the stronger the relationship is. Now, I haven't been in a relationship in a minute, but I do agree with everything you said, so.
Definitely that, and like, you know, being affectionate, showing that love, and like picking up on the little things, like I feel like coming from a man's perspective, it's like you really do become surprised by how, like joyful and like I'm trying to think of the word, but appreciative that women are whenever you pick up on the little things. Like I said, my woman, she only talked about her favorite group one time. And I'm not gonna say it because she like to gatekeep them, so she said not to say it. But like, she said that thing like one, 2 times, and I picked up on it. And that's something that women like because it shows that you care. Not only does it show that you care, but it also shows that you're listening. It shows that you really hear what they're saying.
As a woman, now I like to talk. Maybe not as much as a lot of others, but whenever I do, I want to know that you listen to every single thing I said, which is why the little things matter so much. So y'all pick up on that. Y'all fellas out there,
I'm trying to put y'all on game, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put y'all on game.
Y'all better listen to that.
For sure. And I think that, that's really important, showing your love, not being afraid to show love. I think that's very important too. Like we said earlier, some people, they're afraid, especially men are afraid of being soft.
Right.
And, I think from a men's perspective, one thing that we really love is compliments and feeling like we're being heard. You ask any man, like, when's the last time you got a compliment? I can promise you, he gonna be able to tell you the exact day, the exact minute, the second, what he was wearing, what was going on, was it raining or not? Because there's so few a lot of the times for us. We don't always get compliments, and so they really do stand out to us a lot more. Right. So I think definitely coming in, oh, you so fine, or like whatever, like that can really like put a smile on your face.
You so fine. I hit him with the you smell good. I don't know what it is. When I say that, maybe they be stinking half the time, but when I say that, it's a wrap. Wait, that's another one. Hit him with that you smell good.
But don't lie to them. Like, they don't smell good. Okay, like,
no, if you don't smell good, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna. If you stink, I may not necessarily say you stink, but I'm not gonna say you smell good. I don't lie. That's one thing. I may tell you a joke, but I never tell you a lie.
You ain't lying. And make sure, like, the fellas, y'all make sure y'all investing in some good cologne. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely invest in some good cologne. Don't be out there wearing no Axe body spray, just spraying that around, talking about, I smell all right.
Please do not wear Axe. No one likes it. I hate Axe with a passion. That, and I don't really like Old Spice either. It's too much. But once y'all find y'all scent, and y'all constantly wear it around that girl, every time she smells it, she just gonna think of you. Find your scent.
Absolutely, find your scent. I don't care if you gotta go into a little Macy's or something, go look at the little colognes. I don't care if you gotta
even the ones in Bath and Body Works for the men. I love them.
See, and I got a couple of those, but me personally, I be saying, like, I don't spend money on like designer stuff, but the only stuff I will ever spend designer money on is just cologne. That's it. I love designer colognes. I don't know what it is. It's just something about it. I'll put y'all on some of the men. See, I like gatekeeping cologne, but I'm not. It's a nice little episode on love.
Give them two.
Prada Black. Ooh. Prada Black is real good. Okay. I love that one. And Armani Code. I'm telling y'all right now, Armani Code. Now, I've smelled, I see a lot of men, they like the Gucci Guilty. I smelled it. I don't know. I personally prefer it. But that's a good thing. I know some women that definitely like Gucci Guilty. Dior is a good one, but that's very oversaturated. A lot of men got Dior, so a lot of women are used to that smell. So definitely like just trying to invest in colognes. I know some of y'all be on TikTok. There's a bunch of people on TikTok that show good colognes that are kind of like unknown or underrepresented that are really, get your woman going, so you make sure that you just invest in some good cologne.
Right.
Not only is it gonna make you smell good, but you're gonna get a lot of compliments too, like you said. Like we know we like being complimented because we don't get complimented often. Whenever you told that you smelling good, you start feeling yourself because like, oh yeah, like she.
Okay, but don't get a big head though. You can start feeling yourself, but don't do too
much. Listen. Sometimes you have to get a little bit of like.
But don't do too much.
Oh, no, never do too much. Never do too much. Never do too much. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can get a little swag in your walk.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah, get a little pep in your step, a little swag in your walk. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't be, oh yeah, she said I smell good. Yeah, y'all can't touch me. Don't do too much. Because I will definitely bring you back down again. I will level you.
And I appreciate a woman that does that too. Because that's important. Because sometimes we be getting like too far ahead of ourselves. We off in like Mars. And y'all got to bring us back to Earth sometimes. So
you ain't lying.
Ooh, that's definitely important. And I think, another thing I want to say to the men is, I'm not like no relationship expert. I'm not. I got a couple tips and tricks. One thing that I do think is really important for men also to kind of think about, especially when they're with a woman that a crush on somebody. Like, make sure that you know what your woman likes. And that's in every sort of aspect. But definitely, like, if you know that you're, kind of like what you said, you're not much of like a like a monetary type of person, you know,
Right.
like materialistic person. You know, sometimes like you can go get, you know, a woman something expensive, and she gonna appreciate it because she's grateful for it. But she might have rather, you know, had something simple,
Like
something that has a lot more meaning.
Like the letter, or simple thing. My favorite chocolate. We could watch my favorite movie, like the little stuffs like that. I don't need now. If you want to send me some money, I ain't gonna say no.
Put your Cash App in there. Put your Cash App, your Venmo, whatever.
Don't say that. Y'all can hit me birthday.
See, but go ahead, tell them. Tell them.
I don't know it off the top of my
Here you
head.
go. Here
you
you
can put
go.
it in the description box. It's okay.
I'll put it in the description. I should put mine in there too, because I don't mind a couple extra dollars too.
Might as well.
Yeah, but you know,
some spring break is coming up. We need a little something.
it was next month too.
Look, no, please help me. I'm going to Vegas, y'all, to celebrate my 21st because I can't do it this weekend or the weekend after that because I have exams. So if y'all really, please send me a little something. I'll be greatly appreciated.
Now, what is a little something like? They send you like $1. You gonna be happy with that, or you gonna need like a little bit more than $1?
I'm gonna do 5 men.
Okay.
As
She
I
don't
said,
mean $5. She mean 500 minimum.
Oh,
I'll play it.
see, too much. $5 minimum.
I don't know what that's gonna get you, but $5 minimum.
I get food.
Be good.
See, I'm a foodie.
What food you get for $5?
Do you know a place called McDonald's? Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Stand corrected.
Okay. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say none.
Right.
But you know, do you have anything else that you kind of want to say that you feel like is important to talk about in regards to like relationships or just love in general, especially coming from like that young perspective?
Honestly, no. Love is love. Be open about it. Don't judge others. People express it in different ways, but as long as they're expressing it, that's really all that matters. So, yeah.
I guess I got one more thing that I just kind of thought about. For the men again, make sure y'all take care of yourselves. Make sure y'all take care of your hygiene, and make sure like y'all need to get like a skincare routine.
Bro, man care.
Like I be trying to put my homeboys on, cause they be thinking it's weird to have a skincare routine as like a man or whatever. You know how many women love just like hearing that a man got a skincare routine, and then once you start going into the details of your skincare routine, I'm just putting y'all
Also,
on.
my final tip: stop using that 3-in-1 body, hair, bit, whatever. Don't do that. Especially for the black men, don't do that.
I know a couple of people back in the dorm. They got that 15.
That 15-in-1. Y'all think about it.
Man, you got shampoo, you got body wash, you got car oil,
Like
you got gasoline.
15-in-1.
You got drain cleaner,
And
you
I
got
know,
everything in there.
as he said, skincare. Y'all just stop using water, especially
So look,
at the
water
dorms.
sometimes work for people.
But
Some people it work.
No, not
but
here.
in general, okay.
Dorm water. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're not lying about that one. I tell you that much. But I think I think we hit on everything that was important to hit on.
Yeah.
But once again, y'all, happy Valentine's Day, or I guess belated happy Valentine's Day. For those y'all in relationships, make sure y'all take care of y'all man. Make sure y'all take care of y'all woman. For those y'all not in relationships, like you said, self-love is the best love. Y'all make sure y'all continue to take care of yourselves. Don't feel like you need to get into a relationship just because everybody else is in one. Make sure you can take care of yourself first before you try and get into one where you got to take care of someone else and yourself too.
Right.
With that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah.
As always, black is beautiful, black is love, and black is excellence. We love y'all, and we out.